led What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, y'all? Welcome to a new edition here of the college basketball hangout. Hopefully, everybody gets in here and we can get a good show going. We're going to give out some winners. I'm going to bring in my man, the Prez, Who-Bangin Sports, DJ Big Boss. What's good, my man?
Yeah. First, let me bless the show. What up, though? We live and direct right here. College basketball, baby. Some of y'all don't know I could, but I'm here now. Let's go.
Bro, you do it all, man. We do it all, brother. You know me. This is what we do. This is our life. So what's good? Snizzles in the house. My guy, fresh off the plane from Houston, watching his boy Massage Boy Watson. Didn't get any touchdowns in that game. The defense carried him and fucked me out of a bunch of money because I had the Texans plus 8.5. Damn bastard, Kyle Allen, you sucker. But anyway, let me see what we got going on here. How many people we got up in here? We got some people in here. Do we need to give them a minute, boss?
Give them a minute. Are they gonna come? I'm sending a tweet out as well right now.
Well, we got 7 heads up in here, so we might as well get it started. Let me pull up what we're working with first. We're gonna jump right off into this American Mount St. Mary's game. Not American first half all season. They've won me money all season. I think I've won every game. I think I'm 5-6-0 on American. Knock on wood with them in the first half, and they're playing a Mount Mary's team, which I was surprised at the line. The line came out, and let me take a look at this line right now because I think it did move. It was at 5, opened up at 5. I think it moved down to 4, which it did. So I think the first half line now is 1.5. I still like American. I even like them on the money line. I think you can get them at plus 108. This American team is not, last year is when I saw a turning point with this American team, and I started betting them. They ended up losing in the playoffs, conference playoffs, to Navy, but they've really turned that program around, and they've been playing great. We won a lot of money last weekend when they beat Georgetown first half and full half. They lost the first half. That was one. They did lose one first half. That was against Georgetown, but they won the full game. Money line full game on that was a payout, and I like them, so I'm going right back with them. Let me give you a little bit of numbers on this American team. They've got they got some ballers, and this Mount St. Mary's team. I got to be honest with you. I don't know much about them, but I do know that they switched conference during that Metro conference. St. Peter's and Iona and all that. Right now they're playing. They're 4-5. They did beat St. Peter's, which is a good win. But St. Peter's, in my opinion, is on a downslide this year. I don't think we're going to see much out of them come conference play. Took the Rider last game, and I think they're going to get shocked by American. I even like American full game in this. I'm going to take the money line full game. I don't know why in the first half and this full game. You have any thoughts on this game, boss?
Well, I do know a little bit about St. Mary's, and St. Mary's is kind of having a down year themselves. They're usually a little ahead of things right now. They got beat by USC, even though they did beat St. Peter.
No. Mount St. Mary's.
Oh, Mount St. Mary's.
Yeah. Yeah, they're out of the Metro.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm at Mount St. Mary's. They lost to USC earlier this year. They came out losing.
Yeah, you're right. My fault.
Yeah, they came out losing this year. It's one of those teams I kind of keep an eye on. Each year they have the Army some game right here at the Currency Center now. but they have like 3 or 4 games all in one day. You pay one price for the ticket, you get to get all 3 games, and it's usually an invitational game. And they had Mount St. Mary's one of the teams I seen play over there. I was surprised to see that they recruit from a lot of overseas players and stuff like that. So I kind of keep my eye on it a little bit, and I did notice early in the season that they slipped up a little bit, but they did come back. They did come back for some W's a little later on in the season. Like you said, they did beat St. Peter's 73-58, but then turned right back around and lost to Ryder by a few points too. So they on and off right now. Ain't no telling exactly where they are. And I think what you have going on with American, because I cashed one of those first half Americans as well. I think that's the way to go in this one.
Yeah, I mean, the more that I was looking at this game, as far as like an offensive rating goes, you you have a better offense. The offense is better with Vermont. Vermont's got they're 6 points higher, 6% higher in true shooting percentage, and the defensive rating is not as good as Mount St. Mary's, but it's comparable. It's only like a fraction worse. So we're not. I don't think we're going to see a defensive battle in this game. I think we're going to see offense, and if American can hit their threes, which they're shooting them at around 36, 37% right now. If they can hit 3 or 4 of these threes in the first half, they're going to win this first half, and I like them to win this first half. I think Mount St. Mary's is going to come in this game, and they're not going to realize what kind of team they're playing when American hits the floor. So I watched this American team, and I like them. They got Jermaine O'Neal, white boy Jermaine O'Neal. Imagine that. Come on, he's a baller, man. And trying to think of the other kid's name. Spell, I think his name is Spell or some Smalls. Smalls. He's a game time decision, but even without him, this American team still can put points on the board. But put him in the game, and this line will flip. It should flip. But then again, it's not a public game where people are on it, so it might not. But in my mind, you put Smalls in that game, you can put him in this game, and Americans should be the favorite. So that's
Yeah.
so. You got anything else to say, or we're going to move on?
No, I just also wanted to add that American is 4-2 ATS as well, and Mount St. Mary's not doing well ATS on the other side. So makes a lot of sense right here. It's a whole lot of sense right there. Where the line is at, the 3.5 went up to 4.5. That's even a decent line, like you say, for the full game. And then you getting the bargain of a deal at 1.5 for the first half. Makes a lot of sense, T. You got a winner right there.
I feel like I do too. We got our guy, man, Speed and Devil, our guy, man, Stoney. We were just talking about you, man. My guy. Nah, no Eddies today, brother. No Eddies today. But I try and stay straight during these shows, because if I partake before these shows, man, I'll be all twisted up, misstepping. But we're gonna move on to this next game here. We have this is one of Big Boss's plays right here, man. We got ECU first half, UNC Wilmington. He's like in the under 63.5. Why don't you tell us about that one, Big Boss?
So going into this one right here, ECU, they've been kind of here and there. They're doing great ATS though, but they're doing overall well. Both teams are about doing the same overall. But what tricked me out was the line right here and the fact that UNC Wilmington was the favorite in this one. So I see a little value with ECU plus the points, but I had to dig a little deeper on that one. So after I looked a little further on this one, I seen that it's definitely the defense of UNCW is what's the cause of the line being where it is, why they're the favorite. Because scoring wise, ECU could probably pass them up a little bit. But so with the number being low as it is, especially in the first half, I figured that the books have evaluated in, or basically just told us, from reading the line, it just told you straight up that, hey, this team is going to outweigh this team's defense is going to outweigh the other team's offense, even though the numbers of the other team offense looked fairly decent, and they both coming in the game at 6-3. You know what I'm saying? So it looks that way on the outside. So I dig deeper and I figure in the first half, it said right here that UNCW is averaging giving up only where is it right here?
28.
28 points per half in the first half, their defense. And then ECU defense, not as much, giving up 34 in the first half. So if they figure that even with these numbers, that the defense is going to outweigh the offense once again, then I see the equivalence of a number. I wouldn't want to get involved for the full game, even though I like it for the full game as well. I think it probably falls in like the 126 section or something like that, a bit less than what it is. And this is common for UNCW this year, is that they beat the margin of beating the spread by quite a few points plenty of times. So this is one that can fall in the 126s, 124s to the end of the game. But I say get in there and get out. If the team is dominating by defense, and this is one of the better teams that ECU has faced defense. So I figure if they come into this game right here, they're facing a better defense. This defense is already says in the line that they're going to be the dominant. The defense is going to dominate at some point in the game. I figure start off another team now. Second to start getting a little better offense going, even though their offense is horrible. But it could be a point where that could happen and the game could race and go over late. So I want to try to stay away from that as much as possible. And then when the books put the number way shorter than the full number, then I was like, they're just telling you once again that this defense is going to outweigh that team's offense. So I like the under 64 is a good number for it. 64 and a half is a good number to get for a defensive, based team. Because on the average, most teams that has a solid defense, they at about 60-point range by halftime. That's why you want to keep them where they can go a little under 60 points at halftime. So I think this team is definitely capable of that in this one right here. And the fact that their offense is kind of slow plays in our favor as well. So I like the under first half.
All right. Kev, what's good, my guy? Hey, you missed my plays yesterday. Oh man, that's horrible. I took a little break, man. I posted 3 and we swept the board yesterday. So I wanted to do a show. My apologies, y'all. I should have got in and got you guys all tightened up for yesterday. My apologies, but we're gonna get back on it here. And DJ, we was talking about that play, and I told you my thoughts on first half unders. They're not something that I usually like to play, but the more I looked at this game, the more I'm feeling you, man. I'm feeling this game to be around 60, 61 at the half. It's going to be very comparable to the ECU ODU game last week, where I think they were at, I want to say 31-30 or something like that at the half. I can't remember offhand, but I know it was like around 60, 61. And I think we're going to get something very comparable. This UNC Wilmington team is definitely a defense that out of the Colonial, you all know how I love the Colonial. That I think ECU is going to have a little bit of trouble with, especially to start out the game. So the more I looked at this, and I'm gonna join you with this pick, boss, because the more I looked at it, the more I'm liking it. And I don't usually like taking these first half overs just because the value is on the full game if you're taking unders. If you like overs, the first half is where you get the value because the numbers,
Sure.
less than half. So, I don't usually play those, but I'm gonna ride with you on that, bro. I'll even post my ticket for you, man, to show you.
No, it's all good, man. It's all
I like
good.
that. I like this play, man. I appreciate you, elaborating on this for me, man. Making me take a closer look at it. When I do that, when people do bring games like this to my attention, and I start seeing it clearer, they're the ones we hit. So I definitely like this play to hit. What's up, Don? Play. I hope you got that.
I'll tell you another good tip about unders though, Tish, is that when it comes down to an under, the books take a lot of the work out of it for you, because a lot of guys are tuned in to taking the over. So when you see a really short line, you think, oh man, basketball, they scored more than that. But it takes a lot for a book to say, let's set it this low. Why? Because we know it could go even way lower than that. So sometimes you gotta let the book do the work for you.
Yeah,
And that's one of those cases when they giving you a 64 and a half and it was 138 for the game, they just told you something right there. You know what I mean?
yes,
I mean,
sir.
you could take it as like it makes a lot of sense. The same way you look at it is it's less value. If I was an overbetter, I want to take it there and vice versa. But remember, the book's job is to get people in on both sides. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? They
Yeah,
want to get you on both sides. So they can't go too low that'll make them go over, and they can't go too high. They have to make a number right there. So the fact that they dropped that good increment in between, it's not that much increase in halves. Amount of points a team scores in the second half versus the first half. It's not that big of a gap for them to be putting the number so low. But I mean, but what if they put anything closer? What if they put it at 66? You know what I'm saying? Then that brings in people from another side that would have went one way, probably would have go another way. So
yeah,
yeah,
no
man.
doubt.
And this is why we do these smaller schools, because a lot of times the books don't got a lot of time to invest in figuring those numbers out, and they give us keys or they make mistakes, and that's what we're trying to find, right?
Yeah, that's where the value is, man. And I love these mid majors. They've been my thing since I started betting college basketball. Let's give a shout out. What's up, Ocean Jackson? Good to see you, bro. And talk sports with JT. We're gonna talk about
What up,
both of these games, fella. Both of these games. So stay tuned, man. Keep in. We're gonna talk about both these games. Um, yeah, I mean, like you're right. I mean, the book's job's to make money, man. If they got 50% on this, 50% on the over, 50% on the under, they're making money. That's what the juice is all about.
the
And they're
Juice
happy with that.
Kings?
You know what I'm saying? So let's move in, and we're gonna stick with you here. Stick with you here, boss, because I know you're on this game on the money line in a parlay. So why don't you give us your thoughts on this money line parlay here for the ECU UNCW?
Well, I also like them on the money line as well. UNCW right here, full game. Um, I just think ECU hasn't played that type of quality opponent yet, and I think NCW, despite their couple flaws, they play a real solid game that it's gonna be a little switch up for them. Kind of like when you go play Wyoming in college football in the snow. It's kind of on their terms and their turf. So I think they're gonna come out with the win today. Didn't want to risk any points in between because I'm looking for as much value as I can. So I parlayed that right on over to Butler, who I think is definitely gonna get the win today. But I don't trust him with the points. We seen Butler; they had a couple slip ups, but in these last few games at home, well, in the home crowd, they've been doing much better. They're on the little roll right here. I think it's a good shot to jump on those two. When I mix them both together, I got a plus 108. I said that's the formula of success. Two money line favorites, plus 108, bookie.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that, man. As long as you're getting plus money, you can do that. And I kind of messed up on that one. I should have did this. Should have pulled this one up because this is what we're talking about. Because you got Butler on this and UNCW, the minus 275, minus 145, or 194. That's at FanDuel. That's what these lines are currently. We can pull that up and see what it would be for the parlay on that. And let me see. You got 175 or 275, and then that UNCW game is I'm not gonna do that. Y'all can figure it out. Y'all can
Well,
figure.
I got the plus 108 straight. I'm on Bookmaker. That's what I could tell you what they were. I could tell you what they were by themselves, but I know the two together gave me plus 108, and that's what I'm looking for, man. Come to my seminar of money line parlays in basketball. It's a great place to go.
Hey, and you know
But
what? If you should be subscribing to Who-Bangin Sports because you can scroll back to the Who-Bangin Lounge where Big Boss did a whole show on money line betting. So
Oh yeah.
that was a couple years ago. Remember that one,
When I
Boss?
brought the video out, because you can't even find that video on YouTube no more, where
Seriously.
the guy breaks down, and I'll go into it a little bit, fast as I can. I don't want to take up all the day, but right now, this is the type of season where you can get away with big time money line favorite parlays. You got hockey going, you got college basketball, got a ton of games each day. NBA has a ton of games each day, and if you learn how to mix and correlate those numbers together to get you in a positive number, you can win some money by some teams just going in and doing what they supposed to do anyway. Home team money line favorites, off of a win, whatever you want to call it. But it's an awesome spot in this time. Like really, what I should have did with that one is stuck an NBA money line with it as well, and that would have gave it a little more kick. Where I could have probably got like plus 145, maybe 160 or something out of it, depending on which one I got. But it's something to play with sometimes. And today I felt for the conferences that I'm following the Big East and Colonial. I didn't see much in some of the games that was there for the day, so I took what I could and I made something out of it. That's all it's about. I'm a capper. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I'm gonna do it again. We're gonna keep doing it, being transparent, everything, and that's just how it goes.
This is my guy, man. My Prez, Who-Bangin Sports Prez, DJ Big Boss. Knowing my conferences are the Big East, the CAA, you getting in touch so we can be on the same page and we can make some fucking money this season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
Don Play,
when it
go ahead.
we know when it comes to conference play in college sports, everything changes. Now it's where all that stuff pays off.
Yeah, and when it comes to conference play, you can throw a lot of shit out the window. You just got to know these
Mhm.
conferences and know how these teams play each other. I don't care what kind of team they have this year. You're going to have some teams where they got the shittiest team in the world. Outside the conference, they're going to play each other tough in that arena.
Yeah.
So there's games. There are games like that, and that's where knowing these conferences is going to make you money. Don Play, this would probably be more of a question for Boss, but in my opinion, I would take that under 64 and a half if you're getting 64 and a half in that first half.
Yeah, the under 60 four and a half is straight minus 110. You out of there. I mean, I wouldn't want to linger around with a 194. And I think the tougher play is definitely in the number. It's written in the number. So I would say take the under 64 and a half.
Yeah, and Don, I sent you a loser, man. I felt so bad. So yesterday I broke you off a winner. I hope you were able to get that in there and play that. I DM'd it to you personally. It was one of my favorite plays. Hopefully you parlayed all three. I was going to tell you to parlay all three, but I want you to win, man. I don't want to lose you money. You remind me of myself when I was in my 20s, and I want you to win, bro. So. All right, let's move on to the next game we got here. And you're speaking this 108 number brings me right into my next play. My next play, first half, Illinois plus 108 versus Texas. Now, this is crazy because I like Texas full game. Texas has got a fucking hell of a squad down there. But they're in a neutral court environment in New York City, and I'm taking Illinois to start this game off. I think Illinois comes out ready to play, but Texas just overpowers them for the game and wins the game and covers the spread. So I have the 108 for the first half, and I have Texas minus 2.5 for the game. This Texas team has been surprising. The books have caught up now, and I can't. I was not getting the value that I was getting on them. But every time I bet on them so far this year, they've made me money. And this one is probably the toughest game that I've had to look at with them. And I just have to really go with my gut and the way that I knowing college basketball and the way teams play. Illinois, I believe, comes out strong in this, but Texas just has too much underneath that Illinois is not going to be able to match up with. You got anything on this game, boss?
Hey, I like Texas and what they're doing over there. You put me on it that I got a chance to sit down and watch them for over there. I like them. They kind of lengthy. They got some speed. Really balanced team. I like what they do. It has to be in the system a little bit how they getting after guys and doing so well. But I like the squad that's going on over there, and I feel like right here capping the capper that if you only willing to jump in on Illinois' first half, then Texas is probably a good money line bet for a game. But I gotta hop out real quick. I'm just gonna go down. I'm gonna come right back.
Go ahead, bro. You got it. I'll carry it. So anyway, back on to this game. This game was really tough for me. It was tough for me to get into Texas. I mean, my first look on this was Texas, Texas, Texas. But the more I look at this, the more you know, I'm looking at. I, I think this is going to be a low scoring game. I think 141.5 is too high. I haven't put any money on the totals. Totals aren't my strongest bets, but we've got two really high ranking defenses here. We've got the sixth rated defense in Texas, their defensive rating 78.6, where we have the 11th rated defense in Illinois, where it's 84.5. So I might be wrong on both of these taking the sides. I should be probably playing the unders, which I'm the more I look at this, the more I am going to go in maybe for just like a little 50-50 spot on the under 141.5. I think, but this is a primetime game. These kids are going to want to show out, but, I think we're going to see defense. And that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. And Texas is going to be able to pull away with this game. Not pull away, but they're going to be able to win this game. I think Illinois comes out a little strong. Texas needs to adjust. They do the adjustment at halftime and are able to make the adjustments and win this game. Win this game full game. If I'm looking at my numbers, the numbers are showing me that this is an Illinois spot, but I really can't bet against this Texas squad right here and now. And but I do like Illinois first half. I am on Illinois first half, and I think they're good to go. So that's where I'm at with that. And that brings us up to this one here. I did take the points -2.5. The money line, it's a decent play. It's probably around 145, 150. It's up to you, however you want to play it. I'm not a money line better, so unless I'm parlaying. And okay, here we go. We got another game that I like that everybody that knows me knows that I'm this is one of my squads that I like to bet. You have Vermont first half versus Dartmouth. Let me take a look at some comments here. Don't want to. Kylie Reynolds, good to see you. Toledo first half -2.5. I haven't looked at that game. I will take a look at that game in a minute here when we get done. TC like East Carolina plus the 4.5. I don't. We talked about that game a few minutes ago. I don't want to. I want to answer your questions and stuff, but I don't want to regress because we need to get this moving. So Kylie, if you want to rewind, we talked a good 5 minutes about that game. So back up on that. I don't think either of us were on a side. If I was going to be on a side, it would be North Carolina Wilmington, to be honest with you. I'm breaking down the unit size for you. My unit sizes, I bet, are 110 to win 100. I bet the juice to win 100 on all my bets. If you see asterisks on my plays on Twitter, that means I'm betting 2 units. If you see two asterisks, that means I'm betting 4 units. So just to let you know that that's what the asterisks mean if you follow me on Twitter at Parlay Tees and you see my gains. Gilberto, what's good, my bro? You need your first half total. We gave you one. We got a couple for you, man. We got the you'll have to rewind and check out the one we gave out already, but we'll give you another one. So let's get back to this. First half Vermont. Dartmouth, this is an Ivy League team that, they're off to a good start. Vermont's the team that's sort of in rebuilding. They got a transfer in, and they're still a good team. They're going to be in the top of the American East. The American East has, they brought in Bryant, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be a good conference to play in. Dartmouth's at 4-5, but Vermont, I think, is just a stronger team here. I think the books are just giving you money, giving giving you points with Vermont because Dartmouth's an Ivy League school. For some reason, these books love these Ivy League schools. If you look at Princeton, Princeton's always given points in spots where they really shouldn't be. So, that just shows you some things there. But I mean, Dartmouth by no means is a slouch. I mean, they beat UTSA the other day, and they lost to Grambling. Their other win, it's just not a team that I think. I like Vermont first half. Vermont first half it should be a cover. I like it. I even like them on the money line for. I'm sorry, they're -2.5. My fault. My apologies. -2.5. I like Vermont minus the 2.5. I just think that their offense. Um, I, they're, I just like them first half. I just can't really say much more about it. It's just a team that I like betting on first half. Everybody that follows me knows that I cash on Vermont. This might not be the spot. It's not my favorite play. Just letting you know right now, but it's a play that I bet on that I win a lot. So I keep betting. So that's just where I'm at right there. But to be honest with you, if you're on your last $25, you shouldn't be betting. But if you are, don't put this game in there. I got to be honest with y'all. That's just how it is. Vermont's just a team that I like. I like to bet on them. Now to the game that Gilberto wants us to talk about, and TJ wants us to talk about: JMU versus Virginia. And this game, I see points. I see points. Everybody sees Virginia and they're like, "Oh, this is an under team. Virginia's got a really good defense, this and that." But here's the twist in this game. The twist in this game is JMU and Virginia are both in Virginia. So you're looking at JMU cross state here. This is a rival. This is a big game for JMU. JMU is no slouch. They've got a good team, and they can put up points. And that's what I'm expecting right here. I expect them to press the pace, and be able to catch Virginia off guard, especially here in the first half. You're getting a low number of 62.5. I got it at 60.5, but I still like it at 62.5. It's my favorite play. This was a 2 asterisk play on Twitter for me. And, this is one that I really like. The 62.5. I even like the full game. I think this game goes over. And Boston and I were talking about this game right here, being that it is the in-state. I even like the 12.5 they're giving you. I think JMU can cover that 12.5. I haven't gone in on that yet, but I'm damn close to doing it because I really think that JMU is underestimated in this spot. Give us your thoughts on this, boss.
Hey, it's one of those things that is always a part of my capping right there, and that's the interstate rival situation. I mean, how many times do you see the small dog in the interstate rival compete? I ain't gonna say that they always cover or anything, but how many times have you seen them compete either first half or second half? I mean, it means a lot to these kids. Where they chose to go to college is a part of their lives, and it's almost like gangs or something. Like they feel embedded into where they are. You playing the dudes from the other side. I don't care how many times Cal State Northridge plays UCLA. Somewhere in that game, the game starts 0-0. Somewhere in that game, the underdog believes seriously that they can win. And a lot of times they just give them a good run for their money. And it's one of those things that the books, they have no control of. If they're doing everything by numbers and algorithm, that doesn't include how people's, how heartfelt they feel about stuff, their emotions, or any of that stuff. And that's what happens in these small situations. You get emotions involved, cross town robbery. Who knows which teacher is sleeping with who, which student is sleeping with who, and it just creates a bad situation. If you're gonna give me plus 12.5 in the bad situation, give me the 12.5.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you on this. And you want to hear something that's really, really surprising? This is gonna surprise you when I tell you this. I'll just give me a second here. I'm just updating something for everybody to let you know other things that were going on in this game here. So, um, oops, my bad. Okay, so Virginia. Who would you think's got the better defense, Virginia or JMU?
You would definitely think Virginia has the better defense traditionally.
You have the number 16th ranked defensive rating team in the country in JMU. Defensive rating for Virginia, they're 95th in the country. So, and JMU, second rated offensive rating team, second ranked offensive rating team in the country at 123.3 to the number 12, 119.6. That's why I'm liking the over in this game. I think JMU pushes the pace, and I like them to cover the spread. I like the over first half. I like the over full game, and I love them getting the 12 and a half as well. And I this is probably a game that I'm talking myself into because, like I said, I haven't bet it, but I don't think I can leave it alone. I was kind of hoping to get this at 13 and a half, but I'll take the 12 and a half. I mean, you got a JMU team who's shooting, they're averaging nine threes a game, to Virginia's 7.5 a game, and you know they're their true shooting percentage is 62%. That's third in the country compared to Virginia at 60.5%, which is 15th in the country. So you got two top 20 offenses, two top 20 defenses. It's a matter of who's going to be able to control the pace of this game. And I think JMU comes in and pushes it and catches Virginia.
Hey, check this one out, Tease. So last time these two teams met was just December 7th, 2021. JMU was a 4.5 point favorite, and they also covered by plus 7.5. So no, they had to be the dog then. Yeah, they were. JMU was the dog.
Yeah.
They
won
was
the game
plus,
outright.
but they won outright 52-49.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very low scoring game, but I think it's a different. I think we see a different outcome this time.
Well, I think okay, so that's written in the number two because last time those two met, the over under was 124.5, and this time it's what 134.5. It went up a whole 10 points between 1 year in competition. That means the books is telling you something right there. Telling you right there, the number's gonna be much higher than it normally would.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I like the full game over, but I like the first half over a little bit more, just because of the fact that you're going to get adjustments in at halftime. For Virginia, they're going to see that they're going to need a lot to lock down defensively, but it's just a matter of are they going to be able to hold down this JMU team, and that vice versa for JMU. JMU's got the better ranked offense, but they haven't really played the schedule that the teams that Virginia played. I mean, they played North Carolina. They played, that's basically the only D1 school, top D1 school they played. I mean, unless you want to count Buffalo, but they blew Buffalo out. They lost to North Carolina, by I think 16 points, but that game was in Chapel Hill, and it didn't have the the storyline that this game has. You have Virginia coming in on a revenge factor from last December, and a JMU team who is focused on beating their in-state rival. So I think 12 and a half is too many points. Bottom line on that. So I see what the chat has to say here. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to just dismiss you all here, but JMU plus 13. JT, with you on that, man. I like it. Hella pride in where you choose to reside. Definitely true for interesting teams. Our guy, Indiana Stoney. uh, Thunder points in the Hawks. Man, nobody talking no NBA here. Get the fuck out of here, man. You better catch up with Wham, man. Get on Wham. Wham. Wham be doing that late show, y'all. Got to check it out, man. It's good stuff. You can get them early looks. And, I pop on because I'm up all night capping. So it's a good time. It's a good time. So if you guys are up late East Coast time, it usually pops it on around 1 o'clock in the morning. So, check it out. Um, Yeah, I mean, I really don't have too much more to say. I mean, I do have some plays that I'm putting in, but just basically honorable mention type deals. I can lay those out for you guys if you'd like. Is there anything else that you're looking at?
No, I'm just taking it easy, man. Y'all just keep staying in tune with me because I'm gonna just be coming in, just taking my little time, just scratching at the surface and scratching at the surface, and then probably once March Madness and conference play hit, I'll be hitting at a higher tune. I'll be opened up to a couple more conferences too. But right now, I'm just tuned into the Colonial and the Big East. That's it. They give me all the basketball I need for now.
Speaking of Colonial, man, I totally missed this. Charleston playing Presbyterian tonight. I took them first half last night -7.5. I don't know what that line is now. I have not checked it, but I do like that. I think Charleston's double digits at the half. It was one of my 2 unit plays, and I hate to put stars in 2 units, 3 units, man. It's all bullshit. You know what I mean? I like to play. I like all my plays the same, to be honest with you. But people always want, "What's your best bet? What's this and that? What's this?" They're all my best bet, bro. So, but Charleston, I like this play. Presbyterian, they're on the road, but I still think that this Presbyterian team is this is a Charleston team that hung with UNC. They covered the spread first half. They covered the spread full game with UNC, and the spread for the first half right now is 8.5. I think they win by two. 8.5 is a little much for me because I like to have at least 3 or 4 point cushion on the numbers that I have for the game, but I still like them at 8.5. Other plays that I have in this game here, or not this game, but games in general. This is what you might be more I guess versed in giving an opinion on than me. I like Wyoming. I took Wyoming first half. Um, I have to pull that up because I don't remember. Yeah, I took Wyoming first half -7.5, and they are playing. Let me see. I don't even have it written down here. Are you familiar with this Wyoming team, boss? I know that's your.
Nah, they playing. Who is this? Texas A&M comers. The number was
Uh,
up there. I was not a game. Like I said, I'm taking baby steps. Not a game I'm gonna jump right
yeah.
into. Right now, if I play into some games, I want to be playing into the teams that are in the top four, top five at a conference or something. I can't really mess around with the bottom feeders because I don't know them like that right
Well, I took this Wyoming team because they're at home. If they weren't at home, I wouldn't have touched it. I think
now.
the Wyoming team plays good at home. But I mean, more importantly, I guess the other play that I really like is South Dakota State. Playing a Montana team that is just god awful, and I don't even know why they're -1.5. To be honest with you, so that's another game that I like. It's not one that I'm giving out and say everybody jump on this pick right now, but there was a play that I wanted to mention to everybody. The South Dakota team I think can definitely be up after the first half, and it's something that if you want to throw it in a parlay, throw it in a parlay. So that's everything that I have for today, guys. Tomorrow we have a pretty decent slate tomorrow. We got a lot of games tomorrow. I haven't really looked at them all, but a couple have popped out at me, and I'll put them in. I don't like putting them before the first hit before I get first half lines, but there are games that I'll do that on. But usually I'm up till 2, 3 a.m. hoping that first half lines come out and I can get them before they move. So that's when I usually post them. But I appreciate everybody in here today. Talk sports with JT, Don Play, Man Stoney, Kev, Kylie Reynolds, Gilberto Garcia, my guy, Don Play, all everybody in here, Ixnizzle. Appreciate everybody being here. Rewind, check out the plays that you missed, and we're gonna cash some money today. Boss, my prayers. Appreciate you joining me today. Every day, hopefully, we got you in here, and we can give out some winners. And as this show goes on, we'll just be making money.
There it is, there, man. It's a pleasure to make it here today, man. I'm excited about what we about to have going. I mean, unbelievably, this is gonna last us till far into March. So y'all stick with us, and we're gonna stick with y'all, and we're gonna make this money.
Damn right, damn right. And as I'd be remiss to say, if I don't say, please bet responsibly. Nothing worse than not being able to pay your bills. Make sure your bills are paid first. I know I fell into that a couple times, so it's not a fun thing, man. You got to have money to make money. So, yeah, appreciate everybody out here. We'll be back tomorrow at 3:45 Eastern, and keep an eye on Twitter at Parlay Tees and at DJ Big Boss. You'll get your plays as we put them out, and hopefully you can get them in before any line movements. DJ Big Boss, appreciate you having me, man. Much love, and look forward to hanging with you tomorrow, bro.
Let's go.
I guess we're led by